All right, everybody, this is John. Welcome to the free video, and let's take a look here. So CMG, this is not one I looked at in the premium video. It's just got a super unusual pattern. Like, I have not seen this before. It looks like a top hat. I don't know if that's bullish or bearish. On a daily chart, you know, we are rolling back down here. This is an area that I think is a decision point, and if we do slam into this, I'd be willing to sell a put credit spread. Of course, this is related to earnings that came down, and now it's just kind of chopping around. At this point, just kind of looking for it to trade in a range. And then another one here that I like is Under Armour, and this is kind of like Nike Junior. Beautiful setup here. You know, the weekly squeeze is gone. We've already seen that move. And at this point, we have a daily squeeze setting up. Of course, a lot of resistance here. I would definitely buy any pullbacks here. And if we look at Nike here, of course, Nike is a much bigger, but Nike here is also kind of coiling, and I think the sector as a whole is also ready to go. But I like Under Armour quite a bit there, and it's a pretty sweet setup. And then I also like CELG in here. So we're at 123.36. I mean, this fire line here at 130.39, essentially acting like a magnet with this squeeze setting up. So not only is CELG in here setting up, but it's also one of the top 10 stocks in the ETF, not XLF, XLV, which is healthcare. And you can see that this sector is doing really well. CELG in here poised to make a move. If we take a quick look at the stock market, so the NASDAQ, of course, have just been grinding up here. And I've gotten a lot of concerns like, gosh, John, this thing can't go up forever. No, it can't, but it can go to the top of this trend line. So there's, you know, no resistance here. I mean, this is just kind of, this is the kind of thing where, you know, money is just being allocated. Now, the weekly S&Ps, I think, are going to be the most important here. And I think that it's going to be, I'm not looking for a massive break here. I think we can continue to see a slow grind to the upside, which of course is horrible for bears. But if you're a bull, you just kind of hang on for the ride. Nothing too exciting, but nothing too horrible either. And then the VIX here continues to push down, all right? So, and then you can see that you know, this weekly squeeze may even fire off to the short side. The daily squeeze has, and it's just a little bit of a dribble each day. Obviously, at some point, this will reverse, but trying to anticipate when that's going to happen is not a profitable exercise. All right, for our current portfolio, these are the live trades that we've been doing in the trading room. Today, so I cut loose Zillow and NTES for losses. So we cut those loose. They just weren't behaving. And then also cut off CF and a couple of others. Let's see, it was CF. So Zillow and NetEase, those were losses. And then CF was a gain. VIPS was a gain. And Yum was a nice gain. That rocked it. VIPS came back today, but our open profit was still fine. So then we also added FSLR, Home Depot, Twitter, and Ulta. Okay, so those are the new trades that we did. And then existing trades are INSY, Netflix, that one's still a little underwater. Priceline was a big winner today. That was a nice movement there. And then Ulta. And so far this year, we're continuing just to kind of grind along. At this point, this is up $49,000 on the year, so it's about 30% for this account. And this is, again, these are the live trades we're texting out and doing in the trading room. Okay, and last but not least, once a quarter I do a live kind of a 3-day trading mentorship, and we are approaching that time again. It's a couple weeks away. If you go to simpleroptions.com/mastery, it's going to bring you to this page, and I'll go through the details in a little bit more details. For those of you that you do these every quarter, it's like, well, the 997, that's 3 days of live trading plus the Saturday class. So for the 997, you get the 3 days of live trading, and then this is free. So that 497, you don't have to pay extra for that. That's actually included. And then some of you just like to do the 497 class. So what's included in this in an options trading mastery class? So here's a couple of questions. First, when is it? So the Saturday class is March 7th, and you'll notice that it's an extended class from 2 to 8. There's a lot of stuff that I'll be teaching in this one. That's East Coast time, so that's 1 to 7 Central. And then the following week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, March 10th, 12th, and 13th, during market hours, I'll have the live trading sessions. Okay, so why a mastery class? What is it? So the biggest question we've got is like, well, we just did the debits class and the consistency class. How is this different? Those are actually good building blocks for this. So the option mastery class just kind of brings everything together. And the idea, if I could sum it up, would be it's just knowing it's, like for example, the consistency class, we focused on one setup and then 2 setups on that one setup. Like, hey, this is great for consistency. In the mastery class, it's essentially taking all the main setups that I use and then ranking which option strategies work best, kind of like from top to bottom, like, hey, when you have this setup, then you're going to do this option strategy. But it's also understanding the market conditions, because you could have a good setup but the wrong market condition and you'd want to pass on it. And it's a focus on special situations, i.e., wow, we have a Tesla runaway trade. How do you identify it and how do you do that? So we're going to be talking about the best chart setups for consistency, so you know what to trade, what to avoid. How to read the markets and not get caught off guard, so your equity curve takes a plunge. What are the best ETFs and stocks to trade and which ones you don't even want to waste your time with? Highest probability option strategies for each chart setup ranked in order of consistency. Which option strategies to avoid for long-term trading consistency. That's actually important as well. The bigger picture outlook, so you can know how macro events impact your trading. Of course, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. How to time sector inflows and outflows. And this is a true fact of life. A great setup in the wrong sector always fails. You want to know when money is about to leave a sector. And then, of course, avoid the stocks in that sector. The best opening gap plays, how to find them and play them. This is an awesome strategy. It's the number one time in a market when a trader has the advantage, and you can actually prepare for this ahead of time. The highest probability trade setups on the planet. Trade setup on the planet. Even when it blows up in your face, you can turn it into a winner. Setting up trades without the babysitting. Specific strategies for those who work full time. When to trade conservatively, and this is an important distinction. When to trade conservatively, and then what specific setups do you maximize when you maximize leverage and go for the kill? The powerful and simple 1-second rule, as well as the 10-second rule for trades. I love this because it's so simple. Tips and tricks for getting into a groove. It's kind of like a checklist for flowing from one winning trade to the next. And importantly, what to do when things aren't working. One tip that can save you $3,000 per year per contract. The easiest way is to find the best setups, and of course this will be recorded, and you'll get a DVD. Now, if you want to do the 3-day live class, so with the 3-day live class, you get all this, plus we're going to tackle some new stuff. So in addition to live trading, we're going to be doing weekly options, and you get the weekly options trading and strategies class. We're going to be doing live trades, of course, and there's something about, it's nice to see something on PowerPoint, but when you're doing it in a live environment, it just brings it together. How to set up your trading plan for consistency each day, psychological tips and tricks that promote consistency and what traps to avoid, updates on all the latest scanners and things like that I'm using, and essentially developing a skill set from a trading perspective, and you can do that by looking over my shoulder for 3 days. Now, more specifically, if you're interested more in specific setups, during the 3-day live event, we're also going to focus on the lowest risk, highest reward strategies for earnings plays, the power of pinning plays, learning to time and trade this deliberate manipulation of individual stocks, learn how to use options as well as futures to hedge your portfolio, and I'll be doing that live, why I go 100% flat at least once per quarter, special situation trades, how to profit from the daily surprises and disasters that hit the tape and how to find them. And of course, we'll be looking for them live that week. When and how to defend a trade that isn't going your way. It's one of the toughest things that people have with. And the only way I think to teach that is to do it live. All right. How to stay fresh and stay out of a trading rut, and what to do if you hit a slump to stop it immediately. My favorite day trade for options, where my average holding time is less than an hour. Understanding and trading the VIX, fun and profitable ways to gouge, that should be gouge, not gauge, the market makers on options expiration day. Okay? And if you can't attend it live, that's okay. You'll also get a DVD of that. So this is, again, options mastery class. It's bringing all this stuff together. So, and again, if you already took the consistency class and the debit spread class, that's great. That is a great foundation for this. This is where we take consistency, we take special situations, we learn how to read the market, we learn how to read sectors, we learn how to time sector inflow and outflow. That's something that's critical to being able to do this and essentially master this beast, okay? And so again, $997 if you want to do the 3 days of the live trading. That also includes the Saturday class, and of course you can just do the Saturday class if you want. It's going to be an awesome class. Completely looking forward to working with you guys, and we'll see you there.